Yeah, but I thought I'd kind of give my thoughts real quickly on what's going on with TNA and the whole Aces and Eights angle. And I'm still standing by what I said. I still firmly believe it to be a a rip, a rip of NWO. Yeah, people will say, even Eric Bischoff has said it's similar. The only difference is this is about Bully Ray wanting to be champion, and the NWO was, this and that. Let me kind of explain something. The NWO was about invading and taking over, and probably two former disgruntled employees wanting vengeance. But wasn't it also about Hogan being champion, keeping the belt on Hogan? I don't get how that's different. Now, I will admit they did put some unique twist on it. I'll give TNA that. I mean, last night they basically had Bully Ray go on screen and basically explain why he did it in 5 different parts, if you will. I'll give him that. And yes, it did sound like an ingenious plan. Basically, gain the trust of people, blah, 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 do what you have to do basically do what you have to do to get the thing to work, to get people to believe it, and to believe you. I give him credit for that, but still, with that exception, it's still basically very reminiscent of the NWO. I mean, heck, somebody said in one of the blogs that the whole thing with AJ right now is just a reimagining of the Crow gimmick. And then add in the fact that they're probably going to add and then add in the fact that they're going to try to twist that around and make it similar but different by adding Chris Sabin possibly to the mix, and having Sabin and Styles sort of like be in the middle, like you don't know where they're coming from. I mean, they even had, I think, what they said, AJ said the same thing Sting said, that one thing about Styles is nothing's for sure. It's like, I don't understand that. How can you not see the similarities? Now, I understand for the newer generation, those that mostly have grown with TNA are happy this is happening. But it's like I've said before, TNA, not TNA, but like I've said before, you got fans like myself that grown up with the NWO angle, so we kind of know exactly where this is leading. Now, if they do add a twist to it at the end, and throughout, can't talk. If they do add several twists at the end, then fine, that's great. Bravo for them. They did a similar storyline, but made it different by adding a few twists here and there. Bravo, good for them. But still, it's basically a rip of the NWO. Everybody pretty much knows right now that the whole AJ thing is going to lead to him taking on Bully Ray either in June or at Bound for Glory, depending on how long they drag this out. And it's basically going to be Bully Ray losing to AJ, because if you take a look at the spoilers, if you want to have One Night Only, you kind of get the idea that's going to happen. I mean, I just feel it's going to be a similarity. And again, I totally understand everything that you want to gain the interest and the viewership of the newer viewers, of the newer wrestling fans that want something different than what they got with WWE right now. And I understand that. I totally do. But the thing is, when you have longtime fans like myself, you got to remember, we've already been there and seen that, so we kind of have an idea what's going to happen, even if they do add a few twists here and there, or add a few differences as well. But right now, I do give them credit. They have made it a little bit more different, if not very similar. And I know people will defend it. That's fine. Like I said, I'll give them credit for adding a little bit of uniqueness, especially with that whole 5-part video last night. Bully Ray explaining how it came about. But here's the thing as well. When I heard that they did this, and I saw some of the parts on YouTube as well as last night, I have to say that all TNA did with this was just say, hey, we're having him reveal how it all came about. Guess what? We just gave you the first sign that this angle is going to come to an end very soon. And I'm not lying. If I'm lying, and I'm not lying, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. Because why would you have the guy that basically pulled the wool over your face explain in 5 parts how he did it, why he did it, and why certain people joined, if it wasn't basically the first clue of saying, guess what, this angle is going to come to an end real soon. And the whole thing with AJ, I'm not going to, I've been thinking about this. I wouldn't be surprised if he says, hey, if he gets a proposition from, like, say, Dixie, if Dixie has to be involved storyline-wise, or even if they have to bring Jeff Jarrett back in to convince him to help, I wouldn't be surprised if AJ's condition is that to help, that I wouldn't be surprised if AJ's condition to help is that if he helps and beats Bully for the title and brings it back to TNA, that people like Team 3D, Doc, Nux, Hogan, Sting, whatever, all of them that have already been established, already made their names elsewhere, leave TNA for good and allow those that have been with TNA from the very beginning to be the ones that help it grow. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to do something like that to get AJ to probably join. Again, I don't know what they're going to do, but again, I'll give them credit for adding a little bit of uniqueness that we didn't give at the NWO angle, but still, let's face it, it's still the same angle. No matter what people may say or how they defend it, you got a little bit of uniqueness, a little bit of difference, a few differences here and there, but still, it's the same thing. It's still the same angle, no matter how you look at it, no matter how you pin it, no matter how much you try to add to it or change it up a bit. It's still the same thing. We know it. I know it. The longtime fans like myself know it, and I know those defending know it. But I can also understand why you guys are defending it. You're defending it because it's the only interesting thing right now in wrestling on a national level that sparked your interest. It's getting you to talk. It's getting you talking, getting you talking because WWE in your minds are not doing it. So again, I can understand that, but still, I just feel I don't know. I just feel it's not going to last much longer, especially with the unveiling of how it came about. I just don't see the angle going to last much longer. If it lasts past Slammiversary, I'd be surprised. But I think knowing TNA and how long they keep stables going, I think this stable is going to last just another few months. Because let's not forget, Immortal started at Bound for Glory. And they ended at Bound for Glory. No matter what you can say they still continued on. No, they didn't. Whatever reminiscence you had of Immortal basically started to die out. So the way I look at it, I will not be surprised if this ends at Slammiversary. I will not. If they continue it on, that would be a surprise. But I will not be surprised if it ends at Slammiversary. So that's just my thoughts currently. My current thoughts on the whole Aces and Eights and Aces and Eights angle and Aces and Eights and AJ Styles angles. So, what's going on in TNA story wise? So, comment down below, video response if you like. I'll talk to you.